everyone, and welcome back to another video. As you can read by the title, I have some disturbing news to bring you. Either USCIS has lied, misrepresented, or somehow miscalculated their financial situation, their budget. They claimed they were going broke. They requested a $1.2 billion bailout from Congress and attributed their budget crisis to COVID-19 and to the fact that there has been a substantial decrease in the amount of applications and petitions submitted to USCIS. As you know, USCIS is a fee-funded agency and obtains their revenue directly from applicants who pay filing fees with their applications. Now, according to USCIS, they needed the $1.2 billion bailout because the amount of revenues they received for this year substantially decreased, and as a result, they're forced to furlough 13,000 USCIS employees beginning August 3rd. They have even recommended proposed increases to the filing fees, as well as an additional 10% surcharge to those filing fees to assist in paying the government back should it receive that $1.2 billion bailout. Now, this has been big news throughout the immigration community. Everyone knows that USCIS claimed to have had financial issues, and their financial struggles were resulting in 13,000 USCIS employees being furloughed and resulted in the backlog of the printing of green cards as well as the employment authorization documents. Previously, I made a video on that. 50,000 lawful permanent resident cards have not been printed, and 75,000 employment authorization documents have not been printed. And due to the financial crisis, USCIS had to terminate their contract with the third-party company that was responsible for printing these documents, and instead USCIS insourced the printing and were printing these cards in-house, which resulted in this substantial backlog. So these issues that we've been seeing are largely in part due to USCIS's budget crisis. And recently, the Committee on Appropriations within Congress have been working on passing a budget for the fiscal year 2021 for next year. A bill was already passed in the House, and now it's the Senate's turn. So here's what just happened. It was announced today, but on the 21st, two senators actually wrote a letter to USCIS questioning them about their revenue forecast. So they had originally projected that they would have a $571 million deficit by the end of this year. However, these senators are pointing out that USCIS will in fact not be ending fiscal year 2020 with a $571 million deficit, but in fact with a surplus. They are projected to end fiscal year 2020 with a surplus and have enough money to pay their employees for the remainder of the year. Despite the projected surplus, USCIS has continued to still move forward with the furloughs of their 13,000 employees, which are clear to be unnecessary. And as you can imagine, these senators are very upset by this fact. USCIS is not going to have a deficit. They are actually in a surplus and will continue to have a surplus for the remainder of the year. It's absolutely appalling that, one, a drastic discrepancy with their forecast has been made. How do you go from projecting a deficit of $571 million to in fact projecting a surplus? What happened? On top of that, now it's absolutely clear that you have all this money left over, because that's what a surplus means. You have money left over in excess of what you need to pay off your bills, to pay your expenses, to pay your employees. You have money in excess, and yet you are still choosing to lay off these 13,000 employees. So that is what this letter is saying. They are urging USCIS to stop these furloughs immediately. It is absolutely unnecessary to lay off these thousands of workers. Also, what else are you lying about? So you're not going broke. You haven't run out of money, right? There is no need to furlough these employees. Are you lying about the processing times on your website as well? There's just so many questions that are left unanswered. It's infuriating that within the immigration community, we don't know who to believe, what to believe, how this impacts the immigration process, why our case is taking so long. You have the money to pay your employees to continue processing the case, yet you're choosing to let them go. You have the money to pay the company to print these documents, yet you're choosing to move it in-house. And what did you think, that no one was going to find out when you're requesting such a substantial amount of money from Congress? So despite there being good news about the fact that USCIS is not suffering from a budget crisis and running out of money, and this could potentially stop people's green card applications and other applications, it's still extremely frustrating to know that what we've been told has been false. I hope this letter from these senators to USCIS is now going to promote better transparency within this agency, more clarity, more controls, because this can't happen again. We can't just be fed lies about you running out of money. I hope this prompts USCIS to take immediate action and stop the furloughs. Let them work and continue processing these applications. We need everything to continue. So that's what we know so far. I will keep you up to date regarding any news in the future regarding this situation. So make sure you're subscribed with your post notifications turned on so you can be notified the next time I upload a new video. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up so YouTube knows to spread this news throughout the platform so everyone can be made aware of it as well. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.